You know what? Actually, when I teach, my head always, and when I treat, my head goes to MLD first. And there's a really good reason for that. So if someone came in with lower back pain, the first thing that I'd really want to do is understand, more about that lower back pain, but I'd really like to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. And so what you get is you get a much better response from treatment if you're able to activate the lower or the parasympathetic nervous system first. And so generally what I teach is in a 1 hour treatment, and it doesn't really matter what the pathology that we're treating is, let's start with the opening sequence, because that will actually activate the parasympathetic nervous system within the first sort of 3 to 4 minutes. And then everything softens and loosens. So probably if I was looking at lower back pain, I'd be activating the parasympathetic with the opening sequence, and we do an abbreviated one, about 5 minutes. Then I would be looking at getting the cisterna chyli activated, which is got to do with diaphragmatic breathing. So getting the client to do some really deep belly breathing. And then I'd also be getting the inguinal nodes and the deep iliacal nodes activated, because we know from the map of the body that most of the lymphatic fluid superficially actually comes and draws around to the front of the body in order to be lifted up and dumped it back into the heart at the left thoracic duct and the right lymphatic duct. So what we really want to do is we want to activate the pathway that we know is going to assist with drainage of that specific lower back area, and then move on to our remedial techniques. And, a lot of people have said to me in the past, well, if I'm using lymphatic drainage first and I'm setting up the flow, doesn't using a remedial technique on top of that actually squash the lymphatic capillaries because they're only 1 cell thick? And the answer to that is yes, it does squash them. But it takes them 20 minutes to actually to reinstate. So if you've already set the drainage up by activating the nodes, then once the single cell lymphatic capillaries have reinstated themselves after the deep pressure, you've actually created a suck-through vacuum effect. So whatever you do in your remedial treatment will actually be enhanced by the fact that, first of all, the parasympathetic nervous system switched on, and secondly, the nodes that are in the area are ready to receive fluid. So if any inflammation has been created by the treatment, or there is ongoing inflammation because of the pathology, both of those things will be mitigated by the activation of lymphatic nodes in the area. And also by the parasympathetic nervous system being switched on, which really allows the body to receive the treatment in a more relaxed and receptive manner. So absolutely, lower back pain, that's a really good question.